Well, once again, I haven't won any of these trophies, but we have had another truly spectacular finals day for EFRA European Championship. This time, 8th Off-Road from Austria. This is the finals package. The longest running EFRA class. I think it's the 31st running of the championship this year, and Britain has never won. Miguel Matthias. Got to be a dark horse. Looked good, looked consistent the whole time. Will we see luck? Will we see people last in the 45 minutes? Will we see bad luck? Will we see people not able to make it? As it stands here, none of these drivers can be confident they'll make the trip. They've all got their strategies. They all know how it's going to play out. The other thing is, they've been running 5 minutes, they run 20 minutes. It's the first time they run 3/4 of an hour on the same tyres. How that affect things? There won't be tyre stops here. We did see, if you're watching last week in Portugal, there were tyre stops, there were foam tyres, they changed them. There's people on the roof of this building now, which is slightly worrying. So there's a big crash and falls through, where we are getting very close now. The countdown is there. They will be dropping the cars down. It'll suddenly go very silent. That moment at 3 when it goes incredibly quiet before the race starts. Waiting for the official race count. Quite delayed the race countdown here. I'm not quite sure why. I can't see any particular reason for that. Thumbs up from the steward at the back of the grid. That's like the yellow flag on F1. And they're off! And we're away for the 2012 European Championship final. Straight into the lead, cleanly, has got Dave Ronefalk. Second, third, fourth, fifth seem to take off reasonably well. And it is, as they go over the biggest tabletop, they hop up the shaved tabletop here. It is 1, from 2, from 3, from 4, from 5. So they have gone off, I think, no, Darren Bloomfield's made up 2 positions now. It's slightly tipped the 4 car and the 5 car of the leader. So Bloomfield into 4th. As we go round, it is Ronefalk. Oh, Bataille's made a terrible mistake there, but got away with it very luckily there. And second and third are very close. That's Bataille and Renault Savoia, very similarly coloured cars, and there goes Bloomfield in 4th. He's really straight into the mix. Number 7 is in, which is Yannick Igon, has put him in 5th. Then Savoia's dropped down to 6th. So it's actually Ronefalk from Battle. He's showing it's Jerome Igon, that yellow car did well. It's Savoia who picked up badly there. So it's Ronefalk, Bataille moving out. So Ronefalk's made a little break. So second and third is where the action's at. And it's Bataille. Jerome Igon, and now catching them up, it's Darren Bloomfield. Bloomfield now on the move. Can he get up the inside of Igon as they go on the very loose surface of that paving? Now cutting in tight, going round the loop, and they'll come back through the double single as they all, only Team Molina's tripled it. Double single, looked great roll, fantastic move by Bloomfield there to pick up second, but spurting back down again, Igon trying to get it back on pure power, and he's going to blast it past, and this could end in tears. They need to be sensible around this top corner, but it looks like Bloomfield's got just enough to hold it. Nice move there again by the Frenchman trying to get back inside, but no, that's happened, so there he is, Bataille's in second, and Bloomfield has made a go 4-corner pass there fit, and he's showing the basic raw speed of this TLR car, but no, a minor mistake, and Igon's back up the inside as they swap it about, and discretion, better part of valour there from Bloomfield, back to pushing over the 3 figures, and now we'll try again, but the net effect of that is it's letting Bataille ahead of them get away, and so Ronefalk ahead of him get away even further. So third and fourth here, battling hard. 5th and 6th is here, catching up quickly. So as they go across the line at the end of lap 2, it is Ronefalk, Bataille, Igon, Bloomfield, so Yannick Igon, so Jerome Igon, then Yannick Igon, Renault Savoia, Joe Quagrain's got to 7, Miguel Matthias in 8, and Boots and Bayer bringing up the rear. And we're still here with this battle. You see, there's second just in front of him. This is a battle with 3rd and 4th. Swapped already a couple of times. Bloomfield comes on the inside. Oh, he's push it down, probably just calm down, but they are managed to avoid it. He almost came in backing in a motorcycle, MotoGP style as he clips through now and goes onto the loose surface here before going over the bridge, arcing to the left, looping round before we're coming through the double single in front of Timmy and then going under the stripe to start a third lap. And again, no real change in the position this time. As the race said, oh, and a real bad lap there for the Igon, for Jerome. He just hit a bad piece of thing, and now they're very, very close, and he's kind of just tied inside him on there, and he's gone again. That's twice he's just spun on nothing. That's a disaster for Igon, but wow, how's it? And now we have this train now, which is the train for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. 1, 2, and 3 are away. That's Bloomfield just see the bottom of the corner and sliding in there. Was that JQ who slid in there? No, yes it was. JQ and 7 and 11 are fighting. JQ is fighting very hard with Yannick Igon. So a bad lap for the Igon brothers. Up at front, it is still Ronefalk crosses the line now. Bataille now. Bloomfield now, and now the 4 car of Renault Savoia has managed to bring it back up to 4th place. Then in 5th place, up from 11th on the grid, it is Joe Quagreen, and we're back here now with the leader Ronefalk. Ronefalk looking pretty clear as he goes over the shade tabletop. He is having a pretty damn good time at the moment. He has made a clean break. No mistakes I've seen so far. And again, Bataille as well. But it's now, if we slip back to Robert from the lead, you'll see that he is now probably equidistant. He's about 2 seconds back from David with a long way to go. And it'll be interesting how the fuel strategy plays out, but not far behind him as he clips 2 clips. Oh, and there, shooting into sight there was Darren Bloomfield. And the fight for second and third is now on with Bataille and Bloomfield ahead of them. And now leading, David Ronefalk now has a lead of 2.8 seconds. As they move away, it's down for Bloomfield now, making up for having to start this position. He's having to crawl back. It's because of that one accident or one problem he had with a stuck stone on lap 1. Robert Bataille is still second, thank you, Miss Goose Jump. And anyway, so moving forward, second Bataille, and there we go. It is Bloomfield lost a little bit of time there, but he's very fast, coming in very heavy on the brakes, over the 3 fingers. Bloomfield there, we can just keep, you see, they can just stay in with the widest angle. We can get them both in the picture. Bloomfield, nice bit of Scandinavian flick over the corner. Takes a right, and they'll go down the loop in front of us before they turn back for the double single, and then go under start finish, which is that bar you see there. That's where the timing loop is. It's in the over, not buried like most tracks. It's over above them, works just as well. It's radio signals, and Bataille and Bloomfield. That last lap, Bloomfield was 0.3 of a second faster, and Ronefalk was faster than Bataille. So what's currently happening is that Bataille is being stretched. He's being gapped by the leader Ronefalk, and he's being closed by Bloomfield, and this is where the action is at the moment. It's his second and third battle. Bloomfield, he's very good over that small tabletop, perhaps taking too much speed and slowing off too much in that hairpin left, and then they'll go into the change of surface. Nice little drifting there as they come through, but he lines it up. He made a mistake in the first lap there, wasn't he, again? Oh, he's done it again. He's clipped that side. He's had real problems coming off the bridge on all so far. Now, obviously, these cars are probably running harder tyres and and that was, I think there, Robert just let him through. I think Robert thought discretion is better part of valor. This is a 45-minute race. I have to play tactics. I don't need Bloomfield clunking me. And immediately, Bloomfield gaps Robert. No problem at all. This TLR is incredibly quick. Robert Bataille, he has been pretty much tactical the whole time. What he's basically said is it's all about the final, it's all about the strategy. Last year he won on the strategy by doing less pit stops, and that didn't really unwind until many, many minutes later. We didn't really know what was going on until the last 10 minutes. We could see he was going to take one less stop, and he just popped out in the lead ahead of Yo My Gone, who is in this final, and of course Daniel Reckwood, who unfortunately I think disappeared at the quarter-final stage. So to go across the line, it's still Ronefalk in the lead. How far ahead is he of Bloomfield? He's got a 4.5 second lead from Bloomfield, and he'll have to take a while to catch that up. So we know go start finish now, and what we see is the battle between the 4 and the 11. Just a bit further than that, so around the corner there, it's the 4 and the 11. It's battle for 4th place between Savoia and Quad Green. It's a battle of 5th place actually. Just ahead of them is 4th place, which is Jerome Igon, who's recovering from an accident earlier. So it's Igon just out there. He is in the corner, and then behind him is battle for 5th and 6th, which is of course Joe Green and. Oh, it's Green there. Sorry, that car ahead was actually Savoia. So Green now, I think that's Elliot Boots has come up. So yeah, and Boots, beautiful drive there, gets straight past JQ. So JQ drops a position. He'll now be down into 7th. Boots picks up 6th, and now he will go on his fight to get up towards Renault Savoia. Savoia not showing super pace. He did win one of the rounds yesterday, but he's not looked perhaps so good on this particular part of it. Quad Green. Let's move forward to Boots as the focus of this shot. Boots now. He now has the speed. He's got past. He was very lovely run in that top corner. He comes over the last tabletop. He is gaining hand over fist on Savoia at the moment. He lands well and then at the corner tabletop. Left hand, 3 fingers now. Savoia seems to be running very conservatively. Now, is Savoia the only driver on sweep tyres? Does he have tyre concerns? Does he have a grip? Boots. Just crowned the British champion. A little bit too much curve there, but he's going to come to the inside. He's got a really fast race car, Boots. It's certainly come into its own. It dropped back to begin with, but now he's looking all over, and it's still Ronefalk from Bloomfield, from Battle, from Jerome Igon. Renault Savoia and Boots, which we're watching now, is the battle for 5th and for 6th. The lead is down to just 3 seconds now for Ronefalk. I think he must have lost 3.5 seconds. He lost a second over the last couple of laps, but he's still got a comfortable cushion, and we are now 7:21 in. So at the moment, any minute now, we're going to start seeing pit stops. And there's an accident, and that has taken out Savoia and also Boots. I think hit each other. We were watching them, and that's let Igon go through. And there's more conflagration, as they say, on the behind them. But that was bad news. We'll watch what happens when they come through the timing loop. With Renault Savoia again, but basically it's just been a gap. So basically Ronefalk, Bloomfield, Bataille and Igon have got a long way ahead now, as it's Savoia, Matthias and Boots, Igon and Hernandez are virtually neck and neck, but the gap now is an 8-second gap between 4th and 5th. The lead has come down by 0.6 of a second. Bloomfield took out of Ronefalk, and the lead now is just 3.1, and we're beginning to see, any minute now we expect to start seeing pit stops. And in fact, we may well already be seeing them because of some accidents at last. I think Svensson may have stopped already. Ronefalk carries on going round. He's gone round. Ronefalk's made a stop already, and he made a stop at 8 minutes. So into the lead goes Bloomfield on the stagger. So Ronefalk in second. Bloomfield is leading. We're watching the cars now of 5 and 4 and 8. those are the cars of Matthias, Savoia and Boots. Matthias has taken Savoia in this lap, and Boots is now in 8th place. So we've seen already that Ronnefeldt has stopped. Bataille, I think, has stopped as well at 8:30. But the person who's not stopped so far is Bloomfield. Bloomfield was very, very confident of his run time. In fact, now Bloomfield must have stopped because he's right behind him. Indeed, Bloomfield is right behind. Bloomfield again, may have missed Bloomfield's stop at some point. Anyway, so carry on there. They're right together. First and second are neck and neck as they go into the pits, I think. Oh, no, they are. They're hopping over there. I think the cameraman knows where they are. I don't know. Thanks, Matt. And they're now coming around with the three fingers. This is first and second, neck and neck. Did Ronnefeldt stop, or did he make a mistake that caused the catch-up? The one problem I have in this position, I can't see the pit, so I don't know when people are going in. And it's not always possible to tell because one mistake is about the same extra length of time as a pit stop. But this is first and second, and we are something in the region of... And Bloomfield is stopped. He's cocked it up. He's cocked up his entry, and that's a massive mistake from Darren. That is what you should never do, and that's left Ronnefeldt with a massive lead as Darren comes in at 9 minutes and 30 seconds. So I think that they are now all even, but that's going to mean that Ronnefeldt's got a massive lead and he has stopped. So Ronnefeldt, let's see if we can find Ronnefeldt on the track. He's actually now just going. Oh, he's got Ronnefeldt on his back before the bridge. Before the bridge, that's the leader on his back. Andy Marshall. So bad laps of first and second. This is going to give a chance to the others to catch up overall. So there on his back and carrying on going, but that was an odd mistake there by David. His first mistake. Perhaps he thought he can relax now, but he's on the way and he's still ahead. What is his lead on Bloomfield? No, it's Bataille, who has now emerged back in second place after the first round of stops. Bloomfield with a terrible stop. It cost him 5 seconds, that accident. So it's now Ronnefeldt, who is 2 seconds ahead of Battle. Battle is 6 seconds ahead of Bloomfield. Bloomfield is neck and neck with Jerome Igon for third and fourth, and JQ's a bit further down. So let's pick up the battle between Bloomfield and Jerome Igon, and they're about to go over the three fingers now, the 6 and the 3. That is the battle for third, and Bloomfield's got it all to do, though I think he may, at the end of the day, have a pit stop in hand, but if you make a complete hash of your pit stop, it doesn't matter how few you've got. Running well, Bloomfield. But behind him, it's Jerome Igon, the Kyosho driver, and that was a 10th back for Jerome there. Give you an idea, last lap, 37.2 Ronnefeldt, 37.3 Battle, 37.4 Bloomfield, 37.3 Igon, 37.8 Quagreen in fifth. So Bloomfield needs to discover that blistering pace he had before the first stop. I think he must have had a real jolt to his concentration with that mistake going into the pit entry, and that may cost him dear because that is 5 seconds he just threw away for no reason whatsoever. But he does seem to have the measure of the man behind Jerome, but he is now in a situation where he's got a lot of work to catch up to the other guys. And we are now 11 minutes gone, 33 minutes to go, so I suppose we're at quarter distance. And the running order is David Ronnefeldt of Sweden, Robert Bataille of Spain, Darren Bloomfield of Britain, Jerome Igon of France, Quad Green is in 5th, Renaud Savoia is in 6th, Elliot Boots in 7th, Borja Hernandez in 8th, Martin Baer in 9th, Miguel Mateus back down in 10th, Yannick Igon in 11th, and Christopher Svensson is bringing up the tail at the moment. But so far, everybody is on the lead lap. So no one has been lapped yet 11 minutes in. Bloomfield now comes round again. I think what we probably need to do is we need to see where we are behind him. If you just wait at that point, there's a battle between JQ and 2 cars, including Savoia, that's coming round now, and that's picked up already. So JQ, Savoia, and that's Boots, I believe, and that is the battle of 5, 6, and 7. That's the only close one on the track at the moment as we wait for the tactics to unwind. They stretch out under power before going for the first. Oh, and JQ was very, very lucky there. He went far too wide, kept the power on, got a bit of a wiggle, and managed to get away. That could have been curtains. He could have just fallen off the side. That would have been the end of the whole thing. I mean, game over, basically. But off he goes. Hops the main super gain there by Savoia on the downshift of the tabletop, and he's now looking really racy, Savoia. His confidence has come back. He's looking to climb out, he's getting on the inside. All he's got, and now he's being slightly held up. He managed to make the gap through to JQ, but now he's being held up as we watch the cars over the double and the single. They come under the starting lineup again. It's Boots, Savoia, and ahead of them, JQ. JQ probably massively outperforming his expectations. Savoia probably about where he would expect to be, and Boots, I think, possibly disappointed, coming off the fact that he is European champion. Sorry, he's not European champion, he's British champion. Good grief, I'll just give him an extra title he doesn't have. So, as you see, watch it now. It's JQ, Renault. This, remember, is the battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th. JQ's car not particularly happy on that loose surface but seems much happier. Oh, and again, he's just beginning to pick up a bit of oversteer, a little bit of exuberance. We've seen it towards the rear end. It's very important to have enough rebound damping on these cars, otherwise they spring up at the end. Suddenly you haven't got any wheels at the back in contact with the ground. It doesn't matter how good your car is, if the wheels aren't in contact with the ground, it's not going to go where you want it to go. You can't point it with no rubber hitting the ground. So, coming into the inside. Very, very good driving here. JQ holding back Renault Savoia. Elliott Boots waiting to pick up the pieces of any potential accident, and they are in this battle in the middle of the top. 5, 6, 7. Still at front, it's Ronnefeld from Battle from Bloomfield, and then Igon. None of these gaps are changing much. In fact, Bloomfield had a bad one there, and he's dropping back a bit at the moment. He's 7 seconds back off Bataille, who's in second, and Bataille is 3 seconds behind the leader. And JQ, good lap there, but JQ's already in for fuel again. That must be his second stop at 14 minutes. So he'll drop down. Nice fueling by his team, and no mistake getting in, but he is fueling at 7 minutes, so it's pretty obvious that JQ is going to need more stops. But compared to Darren, who's fueling about 9.5, and Bataille at 8.5, and Ronnefeld at 8. So it is a case, really. I'm not sure whether Bataille is enough to get an extra stop. And as we move there with the battle of JQ, now has the car 5 behind of Miguel Matias, and that is a battle of position, but of course it's been slightly bent out of shape by the pit stop. I'm not quite sure Elliott Boots has gone. I'm not sure whether Elliott actually took a pit stop as well that time. He doesn't seem to be in there with the... no, Boots has gone through with Savoia. There's the cars. And that is the main... Again, the battle. It's Savoia and Boots, which is coming off the main corner now and going over the large tabletop. That's the orange and yellow car and the red and white car. The Kyosho and the X-Ray. The Frenchman and the Brit. The French chap... I don't know. Anyway, I've run out of comparisons. This surface, which always looks the most fun to me, because you can actually give it a bit and the tail comes out over the corrugated iron, the iron sort of weaved bridge. There's roofing, felt that black stuff, and then double and single. And that was like a better lap for Renault Savoia, and he's off for fuel now. So Savoia takes fuel. That was a couple of laps after Jacob. Now it'll be interesting to see where he comes. Oh, and Boots as well. It'll be really interesting to see where these guys come out in relation to Boots, because we saw him. They were all very close together when they came out before. Where will they be in relation to JQ? And that's JQ emerging from a very bad line there. So they are back together again, but the net result of that pit stop phase is that Savoia has got past JQ. Boots has lost a little bit of drive there and he's dropped down. So that 5th, 6th, 7th battle is back on. A bit of a stalling hit there for Renault as he came up the corner tabletop. And he's now had a big... So Renault's now rolled it off the 3 fingers, and that's taking him out of this battle. So we'll now see JQ picks back up with 5th. And then Boots has made... I think JQ got distracted there, and Boots has made a beautiful opportunist move. Nipped through now, so the Brit moves into 5th, and JQ is in 6th. Still at the top, though, we have Ronnefeld from... But Bloomfield's going through, so I think we've had a second pit stop for Bataille. Bataille is not running long like he did last time. At his second stop, he's also on a sort of an 8-minute cert. So... Bloomfield may have something in his pocket because I don't think he's stopping as much. And Ronnefeld stopped as well. So you have 2 stops for Ronnefeld, 2 stops for Bataille, and 1 stop currently for our friend Mr. Bloomfield. And that's put him right back in contention. He's now just 2 seconds behind. He's 3 seconds ahead of Robert. But the point about it is that whilst that will come as an advantage at the end of the race. So if we go and see the leader currently is just about to go onto the 3 fingers. There is a back marker between him and the blue car, which is Darren Bloomfield. There he goes on to change the paved surface. The back marking car is car 12, Christopher Spencer, the first driver to be lapped. So it's a Swede who's gone past the Swede. Now, Bloomfield, you can see there, that's the 3rd car in that field. He is currently in. Excellent work by Christopher there, letting Bloomfield through. Brilliant drive. Now, the question really is, when will Bloomfield go in? And can he, when he goes in this time, not make a complete Horlicks of it, which is what he did last time? Moving on. Oh, he's not landed that one well, and I think actually he was slightly distracted by a car that made a mistake ahead of him. So let's get tight back onto car stopping there. And that was a slight problem for Savoia, seems to be in problem there. Picked up well by the camera guy. Matt there picking up that Savoia seemed to have an issue. He doesn't look happy. Let's see what his lap time for car 4 was coming around that time. He seemed to have a bit of a problem. Not really showing the lap. I think it was a minor mistake, not a massive problem. So let's see if we can get back to the lead battle. And that's going on the timing stripe now, 1st and 2nd. We are coming at 74 now. But if my timings are right, in either next lap or the following, Bloomfield will go in, but he is going in a minute to a minute and a half later than the Swede. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to give him enough to get a whole pit stop advantage. Certainly, Ronnefeld's got the pace when he's running, so he hasn't got the issue where he had where Bloomfield was basically quicker. Bataille is in 3rd. He's keeping distance. He will move back up into 2nd when Bloomfield pits. So let's see if we can concentrate on Bloomfield because I think he'll be going in the 2nd. Bloomfield will probably go in this lap or the next lap because we're now at 18 minutes and 20 seconds. He went around 9-ish last time. Is he popping in this time? No, one more lap perhaps. But this is the point now. It's getting more like the fact that he may well actually be able to save a stop compared to the other drivers who are running different engines and different tuning. So the question is, how many stops you have to make and how well will your tyres hold up? Ronnefeld driving absolutely beautifully at the moment. We saw that one mistake when he was not facing the right way in this part of the circuit here. But as the sun comes out, it all begins to bleach out the look of that, some of the reflection we're getting off there in this late evening sun here in Austria. And there is Bloomfield. Well, he has come in this time. So Bloomfield comes in at 19 minutes flat. So he's running a 9.5 strategy. He will be able to stop again just twice more, once at 27 minutes and once at 36 minutes approximately. I think everyone else is going to stop 3 times more. So my feeling is that he has got a stop in hand. And I think he's come out right. Has he come out right behind Bataille? I'm not sure. There's an awful lot of yellow. No, he's actually behind car 7, who is Yannick Igon, is lapped down and goes past him. The car in front of Bloomfield, that is second place, Robert Bataille. Robert is currently just there in second place, going over 2 and the 1 now, and that's Robert now in second place. So the current European champion doesn't seem to have the fuel advantage he had last year. Certainly, he doesn't have it over Bloomfield. I don't think he's got it over Ronnefalk. So the question is, he's currently behind Ronnefalk by 6 seconds. Ronnefalk has a 6-second lead over Bataille, but he has a 9-second lead over Bloomfield. But I think Bloomfield's got a stop in hand, but that'll take a long time to stagger through. In the background, I see Martin Bayer, who's got between Bataille and Bloomfield. But the question now, it's all about tactics. This very much is a situation where I think if Ronnefeld keeps going, even in this early stage, with 25 minutes to go, I think it's probably his. But one mistake will change it round. He'll either get gobbled up by Bataille, he's on the same strategy, or worse than that, gobbled up by Bloomfield on a completely different one. As they whiz around the top corner. And it is second place Robert Bataille. So this has got quite standard again, and interesting. The battle which appears to be most prevalent on track is what we've seen so many times before, and if we nip ourselves forward to the start-finish line, we'll see Joseph Green again being hunted down by Renault Savoia. They have been stuck together by an elastic band during this race so far. They are scrapping over 5th, 6th and 7th with Elliott Boots, basically like it was the most important thing in the world. So 20 minutes gone, let's do a rundown. It's Dave Ronnefeld leading, and he's leading by 7 seconds from Robert Bataille. Third, Darren Bloomfield, who's 2 seconds behind Robert. Jerome Igon's in 4th, quite a long way back. Elliott Boots is in 5th. Joseph Green 6th. Renault Savoia is 7th. Miguel Mateus is 8th. Paul Hernandez is 9th. 10th, Martin Bayer. Yannick Igon was 11th. And Christopher Svensson is running in 12th. So, as JQ comes into another stop, he is very much in a 7-minute strategy. The JQ engine, obviously, to produce that power is a little bit thirsty, or thirstier, should I say, than the others on the racetrack. So he now drops back out again. It looks like it's getting very close for 4th and 5th between Igon and Boots. Let's see what they are going over the bridge now. Jerome Igon and Elliott Boots. That is the closest battle at the moment. It is absolutely nip and tuck, and this is the battle which we are seeing here for 4th and 5th. The gap over the line was half a second. Boots beginning to crawl his way back forward through the field after a poor start, some problems in the semi-final. Both of us so fantastic when they're both in the air at the same time. They land at the same time. Fantastic shots here we're getting from the European Championship in Austria. Don't forget, if you've got any comments, please at RC Racing or join us on Facebook. It's my group is RC Racing TV, and if you're enjoying this, do not forget, next week, Thursday, Friday and Saturday, we'll be streaming live from the final European Championship of the year, the EFRA 1/10 IC track. So those IC touring cars, and as an exclusive, we will have European Touring Car Champion Andy Moore there for the first time. World Touring Car Champion Andy Moore there in 2006, driving the new Hot Bodies R10. Don't forget, it's a World Championship year for the 10th IC, just as it is here in Argentina. They have World Championships in Bangkok in November, and we've got some really interesting cars and drivers turning up in Casino, Italy next week for the live stream from EFRA. But now let's get back to today and the final of the 1/8 off-road here from Fehring in Austria. We are 22 and a half, we are halfway through the final. It has flown by. We have a tactical battle up front, Ronnefeld, Battle and Bloomfield on differing strategies and differing speed. Behind them we have, this is the battle behind them, it's 4th and 5th, Jerome Igon, both his Kyosho drivers. It's Igon on the Kyosho, and it's also Boots. Did Boots pop in the pits then? He appears to have disappeared. He either popped in the pit or crashed, because Igon is on his own now. And so as they move around, there's some problems again, some marshalling needed. But we're going around the edge there. Moving forward. Oh, big roll there. Who's that who just rolled? That is the, is that number 3 again of Jerome Igon's had a bad lap. So I think if Boots did go in the pits, when this stagger unwinds, they're back again where they were. So the third pit stop's happening. Let's see if we can pick up the lead. The leader's going over the 3 fingers now. He's in a lot of traffic. He is the last of those cars. That is the Runnefalk. He's got Miguel Matias immediately ahead of him. Ahead of that, he has got Elliot Boots, who's a stop ahead. Then he's got René Savoia. Then he's got JQ. And behind that is car 9, the double lap, Christopher Svensson. So I think Runnefalk has been in for the pit. He's been in for his 3rd pit stop on 24 minutes. So Runnefalk has stopped 3 times. Bataille has also stopped 3 times. It was a long stop for Bataille. That was about, he lost 2 seconds. And now it's when Bloomfield's not due to stop for another 3 or so minutes. And they are absolutely neck and neck. Runnefalk and Bloomfield again should be on the track. And they are. It's a 2 cars together. This is getting close to being a real battle because they both have the same number of stops to make, in my estimation. Because Bloomfield is running that a little bit longer. It's giving him a stop in hand. Over the bridge. 1st and 2nd, we are 24 minutes in, and this is a true distance. Whoever that yellow car is, that's Savoy. He needs to get out of the way of this one because he's getting in the way of the battle. As Bloomfield goes round, as Savoy's got in between, and they need to get the referees moving the back marker. I mean, it's a terrible thing to call Savoy a back marker, but in this particular race he is, because he's not at the pace. He's already been lapped by the leader. He's about to be lapped by the 2nd place man. Needs to move out, but it should be at this point. He should be giving the one. We get Garth stalls there on the updraft, and Savoy, great driving there. Let's him through at a time where he'd lose as little time as possible, and that really is heads-up driving a European champion. Miguel Matias now is the man in front of the leader. 2nd place as they cut through this traffic. But the 2nd place man is right behind Bloomfield. It's double and single, and they are now, I would say, well less than a second apart. Runnefalk leads by the grand total of 9/10 of a second as they sprint up the straight and over the big jump. Runnefalk pulled out a little bit more doing that, got better drive out the corner. Interesting tight line taken by Bloomfield there, and he comes down off the large tabletop. They're going to go with the shaved tabletop, and they'll go off the corner tabletop. And there's a slight accident because other cars are rolling over, but around them there's still traffic, and that was a give a chance. Bloomfield very, very fast coming off the corner tabletop, and now he's right up the top. He just overcooked it there. Too enthusiastic to get in the tailpipe of Runnefalk. This battle's going to go on for about another 2 minutes or so until we see Bloomfield drop in for his 3rd stop. But he is now going to stop 1 time less than the other else. They come under. And at the end of that lap, it was a 37.6 for Runnefalk, a 37.4 for Bloomfield. 2/10 he's made up, and now he's right behind, and I think it's JQ, and again, superb driving. I think there really is some great driving by the guys who are being lapped. They're very conscious they're not to get in the way, and this is really the quality you expect from a final. Now, this is the bit where he backs it in. Fantastic driving by Bloomfield. It's like seeing a 500 GP motorcycle from a few years ago where just easy things to back. It's like Wayne Rainey and Michael Doohan. Now taking a defensive line, it's Runnefalk. He doesn't want to let Bloomfield through because Bloomfield will have a double advantage, but they are neck and neck as they go through. Nice drive over. Oh, very good closing work there, stopping him from going through. But it's Bloomfield and Runnefalk. This is the battle for the European Championship. Bataille waiting to pick up the pieces. These two make a mistake. Robert's going to zoom in for his 3rd European champion. But at the moment, it is all about these two because whilst we're going to see Bloomfield pop in the pits any moment now, he will have to make 1 less stop. So this is even Stevens. This is where they actually are. This is the position, and we have 18 minutes to go. Runnefalk playing a very, very good driving line. He's effectively saying, you will not pass. And if you don't forget, there are referees. If he tries to push past, he'll get a stop go, which is far worse. But that was a mistake. And that was a typical thing, almost suckered Darren into a mistake himself because he went Darren and thought, I can get it. But no, Runnefalk made it with a tight turn and went through on those curbs just before the stripe. And he now moves down off the tabletop. Looking, trying to see where the chance is for an overtake. At the moment, there isn't one. Runnefalk driving a perfect race, trying to get over the stranded car, and that, I believe, was the car 3. So now put a lap on the 4th place man, Jerome Igon. This is how fast he's going to be in the middle. Oh, and Bloomfield just went for it, and that was really far too optimistic, and that mistake was entirely his own make. We'll stick with Bloomfield, because I think he'll be coming in the pits this lap. But that, luckily, though, he's going to lose out for being in the traffic. He's done all that work. He went for a gap that was never there. And on his in-lap, what's the point of that? That makes no sense. That's just not thinking it through. That wasn't there. And out he goes behind JQ, who's now stopped once more than him already. And Bloomfield will be visiting the pits just once more in this race. But he's got to sit there and think, I have just thrown away 4 seconds doing that. And those 4 seconds are not easy to make up when Dave Runnefalk is doing 36 sevens. So really now, it's a case of what Runnefalk can do in truth. So we now move to where Runnefalk is about to go over the start-finish line. And he comes around the corner now. So it's Ronnefeldt who now needs to just put the hammer down because he will be stopping in about 3 minutes as well. His next 4 or 5 laps. And the last he did 37.06. Bloomfield with the stop was a 43.8. So the gap now is 8 seconds. And the stop. Robert Bataille is 2 seconds ahead of Bloomfield. And he is in second at the moment. As we look at the leader again now. He needs to really push. He probably thinks he doesn't need to. He needs to push now. Of course, the other thing that's going to start happening is we're going to start getting tyre wear coming into play. Ronnefeldt completing another lap, and this lap will hopefully be another 36 or 37. The 37.7, it's not quick. That was a clear lap, and it wasn't quick. Now, perhaps David just isn't pushing enough when he's on his own. Let's see what Bataille and Bloomfield can do. Bloomfield's got Bataille to drive. 37.3 from Robert Bataille, and the time for Bloomfield, 36.7. Sorry, that's wrong. Sorry. No, Bloomfield had far worse. They had 40.7. So Bloomfield's made another mistake. And those mistakes, I think, at the end of the day, may well add up to him not being European champion. Ronnefeldt definitely in the pound seats now. Bloomfield needs to put together an absolutely perfect last quarter of an hour, or he is not going to be there. Because if Ronnefeldt keeps his 4 wheels down, I can't see him being beaten. The young Swede is, I think, going to take the championship if he keeps it 4 wheels down. Looking now at in second place. And there he goes through the pit. So that is his pit stop. They're now back on the same strategy again, and he is miles ahead of Bloomfield. That is just the result of Bloomfield making that lunge and that second mistake. So when they come round now, at the next lap, this is the true gap between Bloomfield and who's in second now, fully in second because Bataille stopped again. As Bloomfield, there's another mistake there over the, as I'm watching him and you're watching our leader, who makes a mistake as well, so that may even itself up. Not a good lap for either of them, really. Okay, Ronnefeldt needs to just calm it down because he doesn't need to do much now. He comes under the lap. He's done a 43, that's with a stop. Bloomfield, Bataille isn't coming through in second because he's also made a stop as well. So we're waiting for Bloomfield. As Ronnefeldt's had a problem at the top. So he's also had a problem on that lap. So he just didn't quite pick it properly. That's going to make it big. But the current gap between Bloomfield and Ronnefeldt has a 9-second lead. And that is a genuine 9-second lead. Because though he would have lost some of it because as we saw, he made a mistake. So at this point, he just needs to keep going. He's got a lap on Renault Savoia. He just needs to calm it down. But he can't go slowly because Bloomfield will know where he is. And Bloomfield knows that now they are on an even strategy. We saw it once more. Bloomfield's slow coming out of the inner corners. But that lap for Ronnefeldt was a 40.5. Bloomfield not massively quick, 37.2. Picked up 3 seconds. The gap comes down to 5. And it's looking pretty good for Ronnefeldt. Ronnefeldt leads. Bloomfield second. Battle third. Elliott Boots fourth. Miguel Matthias fifth. Jerome Igon is in 6th. Renault Savoia is in 7th. In 8th is Joe Quagreen. 9th Martin Baird. 10th is Yannick Igon. 11th Borja Hernandez. 12th Christopher Svensson. And all of those are currently actually on the running. No one has withdrawn from the race. They're all actually running, which is obviously a good point because you don't want, if you're not actually running, it's a pain in the arse. Anyway, so Ronnefeldt completely. Last lap, 37.1 for David, but a 37.4 for Darren. He did not gain. He remains. That's 6 seconds back. Ronnefeldt now dealing with traffic. I think it's Miguel Matthias is immediately ahead of him at the moment. So he needs to get past Matthias' buggy. Oh, bad landing, but that's fine. It's not too bad. Bloomfield's got a lot of traffic in between him and Ronnefeldt, and he's also not really gaining. And this is what he needs to do because we now have just 12.5 minutes to go of this 45-minute final for the EFRA European Championship. You're watching it live on EFRA WS or possibly rcracing.tv or even on the Exint 2 webpage. And what you are watching is a great tactical battle, but at the moment it looks very, very good for Ronnefeldt. Last lap round, 37.2 against 36.9. So the last 2 laps has been no movement. And they're ticking off laps, 12 minutes to go. Ronnefeldt just dropping back a little bit at the moment. Not having a good lap, getting a little bit confused. 37.9, I mean, it's still pretty quick, but it's just not quite good enough. Wait for Darren to come across, 36.7. Darren takes a second back. So the true distance now, it's 4.3 seconds. Don't forget, if you're watching on the news EFRA site, the timing is, the pictures you're seeing are slightly behind due to the internet tactics and delays, so the timing is slightly ahead of the pictures. Probably about, I don't know how much, half a minute. So in some ways, I'll try and keep you abreast of what the time is. But it's Ronefeld from Bloomfield. Bataille is in third. Boots is in fourth. Miguel Matthias is in fifth. Bataille is there. He's riding his shotgun. He's waiting if someone else makes a mistake. But in this traffic, 1, 3, 4, and we've lost. I think it's that Elliot Boots. It's car 8 we've lost. And indeed, that's Boots, the first person who looks like he's going to go out. He may have flamed. He may be out. Boots can't buy a break. I've seen that happen to him before. So, as Boots now gets sorted out, that's the end of his any sort of challenge. So, Ronefeld from Bloomfield. Boots looking depressed about that, and that's the end of his day. Europe British champion. Let's see if we can pick up the action back with the lead. The leader now is about to start the double triple. He's right behind Miguel Matthias again. The gap is pretty consistent to Bloomfield. It's not really moving. Bloomfield about 6-7 seconds behind. That was a 36.8 from Ronefeld. Great in traffic. Really good lap there. And a 38.4 Bloomfield. Another mini mistake, and that's put him way back. And he's now looking something in the region of 6 seconds to David Ronefeld. Robert Bataille is a further 9 seconds back. And those are the only guys really in any sort of contention, because Miguel Matthias, who you see just in front of Ronefeld, is the next person on the road. But Ronefeld's come off. Ronefeld's fallen off the track. So Ronefeld's just made a huge mistake. No, he hasn't. That's the wrong car entirely. I was looking at another green and white car. Car 9 made a huge mistake. Car 1 on your camera made no mistake at all. I should watch the camera and not watch off it. So Ronefeld didn't make a huge mistake, and he's carried on going. So car 9 of Christopher Svensson, which is painted very similarly, both being Swedes, did make a huge mistake. So that's the curse of the commentator having too many cars the same colour. So Ronefeld leading. No real battles at the moment. The Igon Savoy battle is actually right with this one, just behind them. And that is Igon and Savoy. In fact, the two cars behind Ronefeld are the closest on the pitch, and they're battling at the moment over 5th and 6th. So he's a lap ahead of 5th and 6th, who are battling hard for what they can get, and that's Igon and Savoy, but the two French guys having a fight. Last lap round, 37.3 against 37.3. No gain for Darren. He remains 5 seconds behind. He'll be stopping probably in the next minute or so, which will be his last stop, but he has to find 5 seconds, and he has to find it in 9 minutes and 13 of race time against Ronefeld, who has really driven pretty much a perfect race so far. Interestingly, he's not getting any close to Miguel Matthias. Miguel Matthias currently running 4th, and he's really not gaining on him. So I don't know whether Matthias is going fast enough, whether they've all settled to a level. But they come round this lap again. At this point, the laps say that it is Ray Ronefeld with a 36.7 and a 37 flat for Darren Bloomfield. Bloomfield there. Drop back a bit further again, so it's just he's not going the right way. Robert Bataille is a further 9 seconds back. Bloomfield now. This should be the lap when he'll be coming in for his last stop. He might be another lap after this, as the sun glints beautifully off the tarmac. Well, tarmac, the paving slabs. And suddenly we have a sunny day, which makes everything seem better. But Bloomfield now, as he goes over the 2 and the 1. And we'll go under the cut. Will he now peel off to his right-hand side and pick up field? He does. This 9-minute strategy. It saves him a stop, but 2 or 3 silly mistakes look like they're going to cost him the European Championship, whereas Ronefeld has just made one very minor problem. Nothing but a perfect run for 8 minutes and a mistake for Ronefeld is going to do this. But Bloomfield needs to believe it's in his power. Second place certainly is. It's looking like 1, 2 and 3 is going to be between, but it certainly will be, barring absolute miracles. We're going to be between Bloomfield, Ronefeld and Bataille. Bataille waiting to pick up the pieces. I'm not sure actually if Robert even got past Bloomfield in that. Is it actually Bataille behind him there? No, that's car 7. So I'm trying to look and see if Bataille. Robert hasn't. Yeah, is Robert going to pop into second, or is he going to stay with Bloomers? And as they come through now, no, Bloomers stay. So Robert, even with that pit stop, hasn't come in. The lead extends to 11 seconds. But we do know that David Ronefeld needs to make one more stop. So if we move now with Bloomfield flying, and they just picked up a pit stop there, and that is from an awful pit stop there, in fact, from I think was that Carter's Bataille's final pit stop. So let's see if we can find our leader. He's about to go over the timing beam any second now, because he must be getting close to stopping, because he tends to, and indeed he does. This is the last stop for David Ronefeld. Don't cock this up, because you're looking at a man who could well win the European Championship. A little bit of hesitation, very safe exit. And this is now battle on. We have 6 minutes and 55 seconds to decide the European Championship. And it will be between David Ronefeld and Darren Bloomfield. Bloomfield is currently, until we finish this lap, we don't know how far behind, but visually, Bloomfield is closer, much closer than he was before the pit stops. So looking at that, with big tank slapper, this gap is down to about 2.5, 3 seconds. We could be still in for a grandstand finish. Car 3 of Jerome Igon needs to get out of the way because I think Bloomfield's coming, but can Bloomfield push and not crash? He's not been able to do it so far. The track is rutting up badly. It's harder to go fast. And there goes Runnerfalk over the line. And there goes Bloomfield. And the distance is 2.8 seconds. There's 2.8 seconds as the cars fire. And then that yellow car is the car that needs to be lapped. He's let him go. Beautiful driving there by number 3 of Jerome Igon. That is what we want to see from seasoned professionals. But Bloomfield now is on the chase of David Runnerfalk. Runnerfalk must know it. The distance in between, in fact, as he gets under the bridge, Runnerfalk isn't even over the bridge. So Runnerfalk, there he goes, over the bridge now. There's Bloomers lining up for it. So it's Kyosho versus TLR. It's Sweden versus England. Some people think it's all over. It certainly isn't. As we move round into the last 5 minutes and 40 seconds. So the distance after that lap, it has come down. No, it's 3.4 actually. A fantastic time from the best lap of his race by David Runnerfalk, pulling out in Iso 36.1, the fastest lap time of the entire race in that last lap. That is the sign of a true champion. Immense pressure, and then pulling out the best lap we've seen as he now goes over the bridge. But this time it looks visibly closer again, so I'm wondering whether he's made a mistake. And it's ebb and flow as Bloomers now is only a couple of seconds behind. In fact, Runnerfalk has just done a 37.2. Bloomfield a 36.7, so the gap does come down half a second. And they go over again. We're watching now with the leader. You'll see Bloomfield in the background coming off the tabletop. Oh, that's quite. Now, will Darren be able to get past that? Darren loses, I think, more time avoiding that dead car, which is Matthias, who's on his back at the time. Sharp left. I'm looking at Bloomfield now over the 3 fingers, but there he goes. As there's both cars in the same shot. It's not that far. I think it's no closer than it was last time. There you see Darren coming over the bridges. They cross in the air. They can see each other. They'll be able to see each other when they're on the rostrum. They can see that as these winds together. There's Bloomfield on chase. And the distance now in the last lap, 37.1. Runnerfalk, 36.6. Bloomfield, another half second. We are down to 2.3 seconds. And we are down to 4 minutes of race time. It is all about perfect laps. It's all about no mistakes. And it's all about the fact that Bloomfield is coming and coming fast. If he can keep this on the island, we are going to get a grandstand finish. Again, this is amazing how these EFRA finals keep giving us these grandstand finishes. Last week it was Kalari and Robert Peach who got together a couple of minutes ago, and they are now in the same frame, the 2 and the 1. I don't know, I think it could be. Is it the case that the leader, Runnerfalk, is tightening up? He's just at a 37.8 to a 36.8. A second gain by Darren. So Darren now is just 1.3 behind. I don't really need to tell you how far it is because you can see it now as they come off the tabletop. Can he hold it together? Will Runnerfalk be able to hold himself together? Because it's easier when you're in the lead. You've got everything to lose. The chaser has everything, and now they are together, and we are within 3.5 minutes at the end of the race, and they have come together. The strategy played out. The faster car has caught up. The better driver in many ways is the person who's going to hang on. And is Runnerfalk suffering with tyre wear? Has he lost his tyres? First and second go under the stripe together. We are down to 3 minutes and 14 seconds. The distance is now a couple of tenths. Can Runnerfalk hold on? Will Bloomfield hunt him down? We have another unbelievable grandstand finish here at EFRA European Finals. It's all about these two. This is the only thing we need to look at. Nothing else counts. First and second. Bataille, though, is in third. And now the car 10, that's Martin Bayer, needs to get out of the way. Just park it on the corner, Martin. Let the 2 leaders go by. He's decided, and he has done that. Excellent driving by Martin. The referees are working well. Bloomfield seems no closer this time. Runnerfalk had a bad couple of laps, seems to settle down. Perhaps Bloomfield now doesn't really know what to do now. He's caught up, and they go under the stripe. And that last lap, 36.9, 37.2, so 3/10 gain there for Runnerfalk. But we are just 2 minutes 34 from the end. This is going to be 3 laps, possibly 4. Runnerfalk looking more confident. Had a very bad wobble a couple of laps back, but he's managed to put it together again. But he is less than half a mistake ahead. Bloomfield, very quick on this section here as he comes down towards the hairpin. Gets almost as close as you can. Now over the 3 fingers. They are visibly closer again, but this section here has been where, oh, beautiful bit of driving round the curb in there by Bloomfield, and suddenly he's right on the table. He's hopping up. They've just touched, and Bloomfield sportingly waits there. Great drive by Darren. He knew he'd taken a minor advantage. Wait, and that lead stays the same for Runnerfalk, and they go under the bridge. And it is now 37.1, 36.9, and they are together as we go up the straight, and we are now 1 minute and 55 seconds. They will have this lap and 2 more, I would expect. So we're now down to this lap and 2 more before the race will end. Bloomfield, not as quick there. He's fallen back a little bit in this lap. But this is the part of the section where he's fast. This is where he can remake it over the 3 fingers. If he can get the curbing as well as he did on the tail last time. Again, beautiful run there, and he gets a fantastic. He's got that really all too tight, lost some drive. But he's now right up at the back of Runabout. This is as close as it can be, and we are within a minute or so of the end of the race. They will have 2 laps to go as they sprint down, and this is as far as it is. This is the European Championship. This is where it is. They are within less than a second. Can Bloomfield take Runabout? Can Runabout hold him off? What will happen on the last lap? Will there be some late lunges? But again, a grandstand finish to a great race, and we've seen some fantastic driving all week. But now Bloomfield now, you can't really get past it. He's got through! A fantastic overtaking manoeuvre on the 3 fingers, but now can Runabout fight back? Bloomfield, one of the most fantastic overtaking manoeuvres, but now he's got to hold it. Oh, now I think he's going to wait and let him back through. Brilliant driving by Runabout. That is so fair. Excellent work. That is what we want to see. Quite stunning, and this is the last lap. No, it's not. This is. I think this may or may not be the last lap because they're going to catch it almost exactly right. I think that there is still 34 seconds to go. This is not going to be the last lap. There will be one more lap after this one, and they're touching. Runabout, they're in the air together, and they're landing together, and just inside Runabout. Now, over the 3 fingers, they can't. Oh, he's going to have to wait there. He's not going to be allowed to take the lead. No, David, you can't take the lead on that one. No. And he hasn't. He's gone back. But we've now got someone in the way. And I'm just wondering about this, whether that actual little tip by David may mean that time will run out. 7, 6, 5. No, another lap for everyone. So this is the final lap as they go round. We have a battle. They really need to lose the back marker. We've had a fantastic last lap, but this is the European Championship. They need to lose the back marker. We've lost the back marker before. It's all about these drivers again. They go down the tabletop. Runabout hits him again. That's just not what you can't do. And that might be it. If no, Bloomfield was so close to being too steep now. Bloomfield takes it around. He's got enough gap now. Runabout has tried all he can. There's strategy from Bloomfield, and Runabout has stopped, and he's got some problems in the corner. Now it's going to be Bloomfield. Bloomfield literally just has to do this. He has a double and a single to become the first ever Briton to win the European Championship. And he's done it! Darren Bloomfield, the first ever British European champion in a quite spectacularly good race. Once again, these fires don't disappoint. Runabout must be disappointed. He gave his all. We had some fantastic sporting driving at the end. So tight, so fast, so hard. Quite stunning performances by the drivers, and they should feel exceptionally proud of what they produced today, because that is some of the greatest racing you're going to see. I said it last week, it was the best race I'd seen. I'm going to say it again this week. Another absolutely astounding drive, astounding race, the strategy played through, and the winner, and taking the congratulations of his erstwhile mate, David Runabout, is Darren Bloomfield. What an absolutely unbelievable performance. Darren, well, I take my hat off to you, and David as well. Some fantastic racing. The trophy handed to him by Dallas Madison for the EFRA president. Fantastic. Absolutely amazing. As the press room empties behind me, they rush out to get their words. That is just superb racing. I'm sure the first person waiting to greet him will almost certainly be the man who's really made it possible. Don't forget, he's not even driving his own car. Adam Drake. It's his car he drove. Adam looks overwhelmed with a fantastic result. Adam Drake, he drove his car. He prepared his car, British team manager. Big up from the GRP guys, it's a bit of a bonus, isn't it? The first British European champion.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I can't explain it. For like 48 minutes I was thinking, well, 38? 38. I was thinking, come on, just keep going. It's not over, keep going. And then all of a sudden I felt myself just one corner away, and come on, the back of him, and then he made the mistake on the triple, so I saw the opportunity and dived through, and then we had a couple of comments together on his behalf, but luckily I came in all right and got through the finish line.
Like last year when Robert won, it was down in many ways to fuel strategy. You made one less stop.
Yeah.
That's a key point. And how much, with Adam and his engines, his mechanics helped you over the weekend?
Oh, hugely. I mean, we've had Adam obviously working on the car. Me and Kevin have been going through the track, going through videos, watching myself over and over again. We have Mark on the tyres with a couple of good opinions from him, and we've all worked together. It's a huge team event, even with people that aren't here, at home, back in the UK, in the US. Everybody's put in their help for me to win this, and finally we did it.
You came out of that last fuel stop with a 7 or 8 second lead. You then banged in your fastest race lap, and then it wobbled. Was it the tyres? Did you tighten up? What happened?
Maybe I get a bit nervous, but I think in the end I ran super soft, so I think I overheated the tire, and the car was a bit hard to drive, and I lost a lot of time on the concrete as well because Darren had more traction than me. And I just thought kept going and no mistakes, and I should be fine. But then I made a small error on the 3 fingers, and he passed me, and yes.
Those last 2 or 3 hours, they're crazy, weren't they? Because you two were so close, you were just touching and not touching. I mean, how did you see that?
Yeah, I mean, we were very kind to each other. We let each other pass when he take him out or something. And I think the last one, I don't know if it was stop and go, but I stopped, and then the other lap I took my stop and go, so I don't know.
Right now, I'm pretty certain you're very disappointed to come second, but do you think in 3 or 4 weeks' time you'll sit back and go, actually I did pretty well this weekend?
Yeah, I think so. Even tomorrow I feel better, I think, and I would just try at the Argentina in the world. So
last year, one of the main reasons you won was because you did less stops. This time it was Darren. Why was it? Why was suddenly your car more thirsty? Was it just the track meant you had to stop more often?
Yeah, I don't know. In that track we had bad run time, but I don't know why, because he can go with more minutes. But I mean, it just came because all our drivers were 7:30, so that's maybe we have to work more or something like this. But I would like to congratulate them both because they were so fast. But we'll continue working for the worlds, which is our main goal, so we'll try, we'll work.
Well, a fantastic finish to the race and a very wet finish to the podium ceremony. I am now, luckily, the hose operated by Neil Craig is no longer here. But that is all we have from a fantastic 1/8 Off-Road European Championship. But do not forget, next week, we'll be in Casino in Italy for the sunny weather, but also the European 1/10 IC Track Championship. We'll be streaming it live on www.rcracing.tv and FWS, and there'll be loads of reports, and there'll be Ollie on the mic, which I'm sure will be a relief for all of you. So don't forget, come back, see you next week at the 1/10 IC Championship, and thank you and goodbye from lovely Austria.